Hello and welcome to Kaiju Review, where today we're finishing off Ultraman with
Ultraman 2004.
Let's get this started.
As the film opens, we get a brief narration by a young boy about his pilot father, Shinichi Maki. This is soon followed by a scene which a monster escapes from a mysterious facility. Then he's confronted by a female scientist who shoots the monster with a special bullet. The monster, however, manages to escape anyway.
The monster just wanted to go swimming. Leave him alone.
Back at the Air Force Base, Maki and his comrade, Takeshi Kurashima, are discussing Maki's upcoming retirement. Maki plans to spend more time with his family, especially his sick son, Sugemu. Their conversation is interrupted when an alarm is set off and the two fly out to investigate an unidentified flying object in the skies of Japan.
Kurashima's jet behaves oddly, forcing him to return to base. Just then, a giant ball of red light crashes into Maki's jet, causing him to have hallucinations of a giant of light as the film title arrives. That was pretty cool, and the film has just begun.
The Air Force is unable to locate Maki after finding his crashed jet. Maki soon makes it to a small restaurant, battered but very much alive, before passing out. He soon wakes up in a hospital with his wife and son sleeping nearby.
Aw, it's family time.
A doctor informs Maki that nothing is wrong with him.
He soon found himself before a military committee who are trying to understand what happened to Maki as the female scientist watches the proceedings from somewhere. Maki is himself not sure of what transpired, and so after is given a discharge from the Air Force, giving his farewells to Kurashima.
As Maki spends time with his family, he's secretly being spied on by the lady scientist, who refers to Maki as a monster. Elsewhere, a heavily damaged battleship is found beached, looking as though it's been torn apart by a beast.
Maki starts his new job as a pilot at a small airport with coworkers who are referenced to Ultra Q. Maki's new boss informs him of a special flight he arranged for Maki and his family, though Maki has one last flight to make before he can take them.
Aw, he's gonna take his family for a ride.
This last flight of the day, however, ends with him being kidnapped by the lady scientist, who persuades him to land his plane, resulting in him being taken into the custody of the military.
But what about the plane ride with his family?
The lady scientist reveals her name, Sarah Mizuhara, as Maki is taken to a secret base.
Kurashima arrives at a small airport, coming to inform Maki's family that Maki is safe, but reveals little else. At the secret base, Sarah explains how another ball of light crashed into a battleship, leaving only one survivor, Takafune Udo. Udo begins experiencing changes both mentally and physically, transforming into a predatory monster. This monster is referred to the military as One.
One is the loneliest. Oh, sorry. Got a little off track there.
Maki begins having visions of a hunter hunting his prey and learning that Udo has the same visions. When he asks what the military will call him if he changes, Sarah says the next.
Maki is imprisoned in an underground cell as his visions continue. Meanwhile, the One is moving towards the military base that Maki is imprisoned at, but is ambushed by a squad of soldiers who shoot him with the special bullets. The One simply shrugs off the assault and summons salamanders to him, absorbing them and causing him to change in size and appearance. Maki pleads to be released, gradually breaking down the door of his cell.
When did he get so strong? Dang! The One attacks and slaughters soldiers and almost kills Sarah. Maki breaks through the final door, confronting the One. After a brief psychic conversation, Maki is attacked by the One. Maki survives and soon draws the power within him, transforming him into the Next. The One and the Next fight, with the Next protecting Sarah despite how harsh she was towards him earlier. The Next begins to grow weaker as the fight continues, but the One is forced to retreat as a result of the fight.
He got his butt kicked.
Sometime later, Maki awakens in the infirmary, realizing the fight wasn't a dream, and he confronts Sarah about using him as bait for the One. Maki learns that Udo had predicted the Next's arrival early on in his transformation. Sarah explains that if Maki does nothing, then there will be more victims of the One.
The One, while injured, has made his way into the underground of Shinjuku. Maki has a flashback to an incident which his son collapsed due to his illness and how his wife was scared about what would happen if Maki were to die on a mission. After the flashback, Maki questions why this is all happening to him.
Well, that happens from time to time.
Maki then learns of an incident beneath Shinjuku.
While at school, Sugemu talks about how much his father loves to fly, and after classes, he collapses near his mother. Maki has visions of his son's collapse, and flees to go to be with his son. The military deem him to be a threat, as the One begins mounting another attack. Sarah confronts Maki about his actions, but Kurashima persuades Sarah to let Maki check up on his son.
What a great friend Maki has.
Maki arrives and learns that his kid fainting was a result of mental fatigue, not his blood disease. The kid tells his father that he knows how much he loves to fly and tells him to go do the job he loves, while the kid will do his best to get better so he can fly with his father. Moved by his son's words, Maki gains the courage to confront the One.
Sarah reveals that if Maki didn't go through with fighting the One, she'd try to kill the One using new special bullets. Sarah reveals that she and Udo were engaged, and this was the reason she was unable to kill him when she had the chance, her emotions clouding her judgment.
A group of soldiers stop Sarah and Maki, with the leader still sore about the failed ambush earlier, Sarah's involvement in it. Sarah and Maki convince him to let them fix the mistake, and the two arrive at the underground tunnels.
Sarah and Maki confront Udo, who seems to be barely clinging to his humanity. Udo pleads with Sarah to save him, but Sarah states that Udo has already died, firing his gun at him repeatedly. The One asserts control again and reveals that only one of Sarah's bullets hit him. The rest missed due to the tears in her eyes. Sarah gets in close and shoots the One at point-blank range, enraging the monster.
The One and the Next duke it out underground. Then the One summons a horde of rats, changing into a much more massive and horrifying form, breaking through the street of Shinjuku.
Dang, who's gonna fix that part of the street?
Not me. Forget about that.
The panicked masses begin to flee the destruction as the Next emerges and saves a little girl and her mother from a collapsing building, then turns his attention to the One growing in size to battle his foe on even footing.
As the fight continues, Maki learns that the Next can fly, giving him the advantage over the grounded The One. In response, The One summons a mass of crows to absorb, transforming into a winged form, which the news reporters liken to a demon, giving him the power of flight and taking the battle to the sky.
Round 2. Fight.
As they battle in the air, Maki begins to feel the sensation he has longed for, flying in the sky like a bird at high speeds. The One begins to gain the advantage as it attacks the One and Shinjuku together. Maki and the Next begin to weaken due to the expended point of time they've infused. Maki speaks with the Next and accepts his fate and is willing to fight to protect the promise he made to his son, allowing the two to fuse fully in order to stop the One.
The Air Force, including Kurashima, fly in to support the Next in his fight against the One. As the battle continues, the Next clips the One's wings, sending the One plummeting to the ground. With the One still willing to fight, the Next uses his strongest attack, the Elbow Ray Storm.
Oh yeah!
With the battle over, Maki states he has no regrets, but the Next wonders if that is true, causing Maki to realize there is one thing he wishes to still do, which is to keep the promise to his son. With this, the Next severs the connection with Maki.
They make a good team.
1 month after the final battle, a news report covers the events, and the hero the children have dubbed Ultraman, as Maki and his son fly through the sky in a small airplane, with Maki telling his son of the friend from the sky who helped him keep his promise.
Now this is how you do a reboot movie.
You take what worked in the original, crank it up just a bit, add a couple darker tones, but not too much, and you got perfection.
Didn't you tell me this was a prequel to a series?
Yeah, Ultraman Nexus, which is coming to Crunchyroll, and I definitely recommend checking it out when it hits, because it's really good. For Kaiju Review, this is Protomet.
I'm the Kaiju Master. We're about to sign out. And boom.